Brevard Workforce is one state agency that is helping Central Floridians find jobs.
We look at ourselves as a connector. So our job is to connect talent to industry needs.
Then we'll hear how colleges like Seminole State are helping to retrain the workforce.
Through program review and examining job outlook data, labor data, not only for Region 12, where we are, but also for the state.
But first, we hear how Enterprise Florida is working to bring more jobs into the state.
We want to be there for the life of that company.
We'll talk with 3 Central Floridians about finding jobs and learning new skills, next on Metro Center Outlook. Hello, I'm Diane Trees. Enterprise Florida's mission is to enhance job growth by bringing new industry to Florida. Joining us now from Enterprise Florida is Chief Operating Officer Griff Salmon to talk about the challenges our state is facing. Griff, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Enterprise Florida is the state's primary agency for economic development. How are things progressing?
Really well, I'd say. I think it's important that we look back at maybe where we were and how we got to where we are today to really answer that question truthfully. You know, in 2010, when the governor came in, Florida was struggling a little bit. If you talk about competitive economic development, what I mean by that is the projects that could locate anywhere in the world. How were we getting our fair share in Florida? And if you think about Florida, with the resources and the people and the things that we're able to do, we ought to be picking and choosing our projects. But we just weren't. And so when the governor came into office, one of the things he did was he sat down with a roundtable group of CEOs, consultants, site location consultants, anybody that had a hand in an economic development project, and said, very candidly, what are we doing? Why are we not getting the looks that we were? And there were some pretty scary answers that came out of that. And a couple of those were permitting. It was very much a struggle to get things permitted on time for a new business. Regulations were killing that business from being profitable, and our tax structure was a little bit difficult to understand. But probably the central theme that came out of that discussion is the fact that we were not aggressive. As a state, we weren't being aggressive and proactive in economic development. And if you looked at all the states that were not just in the Southeast, but all over the country, and now, since it's a global environment, globally, we weren't competing. And so we set about to tear down some of those. In that first year, he tackled about 2,000 regulations. He worked with DEQ to lower the permitting process, worked to help our tax structure so it made sense for business. And then, I'm a little bit biased, but he went out and he hired Gray Swope. And Gray Swope is our Secretary of Commerce and the president of EFI. And he hired Gray because Gray had experience in multiple different states in economic development. And a lot of those states are really looked at as some of the most competitive and aggressive and proactive. So Gray came in, and one of the things he did was he really brought a sales-focused, proactive approach. And it fundamentally changed the way we were operating from more of a reactive in Florida, where if you wanted to come to Florida, great, but we weren't going to do a whole lot to help you get there, to we want to be at your door before you even start talking about your expansion or location decision and help you understand why Florida is the place to be. Look, we have a great story to tell.
So you took a more aggressive stance, and then once you get a company here, you help streamline some of the regulations to make it easier once they were here. It makes sense.
Yeah, our entire desire is to be that one-stop shop so that a company that can go anywhere they want can make one call to EFI, and we handle that process for them. We are developing the team. We're coming to the universities and to the workforce and helping them establish every step of the way. And not just when they get here. We don't just walk away at the announcement. We want to be there for the life of that company, because it's not the 100 jobs that they locate on the first day. It's the 200 to 300 to 400 jobs that they expand to 3 or 4 years from now.
With the changes that you've made, it's hard to quantify some things. How do you measure progress and success?
Yeah, it's very difficult, and we get asked that a lot. And one of the reasons, if you look at a economic development project, a company that comes into the state, you hear a lot about it on the announcement. But understand that's the development stage of that project. Companies made a decision, they've decided to locate, and then they have to build a facility, hire, put their process in order, That's a 3 to 6 month process. And in some of our larger companies, an innovative company or an R&D, that's even longer than that. So how do you measure that success? Well, at EFI, there's a couple different things. One of the things that we do is we track numbers constantly. Gray is very serious about measurables. What is the return on investment for every action you're making? So we're looking at how many leads we're generating. In economic development, you have to throw out a whole bunch of lines just to get a couple of hits because it is so competitive. So we're looking at how many leads we're generating, how many projects that are locating, what are the jobs and investment associated with those projects, and what is the true value to a Florida citizen of that location? What's the value of a job in their lives? And we're tracking all that. And candidly, if you look at those numbers from when we started in 2010 to today, they're pretty staggering. Capital investment alone, we're up about 133%. And new job creation is up about 91%. Now these, when I throw those numbers out to you, they sound fairly staggering, but that's, you gave me an opportunity to answer the question, and so we always want to put that out there.
Well, let me ask you then, with the outreach for the new companies and that, what kind of companies are at the top of your recruitment list?
Yeah, the benefit of Florida, one of the advantages we have is we're so diverse. If you look from Pensacola to Miami, there's not a whole lot of industries that don't have some capacity in Florida. And so you could pretty much go across a broad spectrum. But if you look at the ones that are our targets and some of the ones that are really hot, you know, from aerospace to financial services, modeling and simulation, defense, you name it, we've been able to really make good inroads in the industry. And we've done that by being able to take our current capacity here, the companies that are here, the logistics that are enabling those companies to compete, and show that industry around the country. So we've been, let's just take aviation for instance. We've really targeted that market because it's a big growth industry right now. We've gone to multiple international air shows because it's an international business.
So internationally, you are making outreaches as well?
Absolutely. Foreign direct investment is a big part of our approach. If you look at what is coming into the United States from foreign-owned companies, it is a huge impact. Just in Florida alone, we have about 2,500 foreign direct investment companies that employ about 250,000 people. That number should be higher. And that's our focus, and so we're really hammering. But if you just look in Central Florida, modeling and simulation is a huge growth industry.
Huge growth
and we're a leader we're a leader globally, and we want to tell people that.
Griff, what do you see looking ahead is the biggest obstacle for Florida for pulling in new business to the state?
One of the struggles that we've always had is the perceived notion that we're not a business-friendly state. We've always been looked at as a tourism state, which is great because it gives us a brand across the world. People know where Florida is. But if you're constantly looking at it, we go to Florida to have fun, then you're not looking, we need to go to Florida to have business. You spend your entire life working to retire in Florida. What we need to tell people is you can spend your whole life working in Florida. And that's what we're doing. One of our biggest challenges is overcoming that perception. I think we're doing it. I think the numbers bear that out. But we need to continue to tell our story globally that you can do business in Florida. We have a wonderful business climate, and we have the best people around, workforce second to none.
Griff, thank you so much for the information.
Absolutely, thank you.
When we come back, we'll focus on Brevard County, an area in our community that has been particularly hard hit with unemployment. Judy Blanchard is the Director of Industry Relations for Brevard Workforce, a state agency linking job seekers with businesses. Judy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What role does Brevard Workforce play in helping people who are unemployed find work?
We look at ourselves as a connector. So our job is to connect talent to industry needs. And we do this by having an open and constant dialogue with our industry partners. If we know what skill sets they need, then we bring that back into our organization and we develop our job seekers to meet the needs of our industry partners.
So you're a bridge, in a sense, between
Absolutely.
the employer and what skills a person is seeking that comes in for you.
Yes, absolutely. And we pride ourselves, our mission is to make sure we know what our industry partners need in skill sets. If you understand the industry, then you do a much better job of matching and placing your job seekers.
Well, historically, the space industry has been a huge economic driver for Brevard County.
Yes.
What's the job market like now on the Space Coast?
Positive.
So it has rebounded a little bit?
Yes, we're seeing a definite positive growth. Our unemployment rate in January of 11, right after the masses exited the Space Center, was 12.4. I'm very happy to report that today it is 6.8. We've learned a lot through the shuttle program and preceding that the Apollo program that I wouldn't say our aerospace industry has rebounded as much as diversified. It's very important that we look at all space applications and go after those markets.
So it's an evolution in a sense.
Certainly.
What kinds of people and what kinds of numbers are you looking at for Brevard Workforce?
Well, in our career centers, we have 3 in Brevard County. We're averaging just a little over 5,100 job seeker visits on a monthly basis. So that's a lot of people going through our organization that we're touching. And those folks represent new graduates out of school, entry-level skilled workers, all the way up to degreed professionals. But a new mix in that are entrepreneurs, folks that have decided this is the time to open my own business, run my own show, and they're coming in and taking advantages of our new startup business programs.
So that's part of the evolution of what's happened.
Absolutely.
How do you measure progress or know what kind of success you're having?
We measure success by the number of employers that are using our service. Last year we served over 2,000. We're on target this year to serve over 4. And so that tells us that we're doing a really good job of matching the right job seeker with the right job.
With the new exhibit, the Atlantis shuttle at Kennedy Space Center, what role do you see tourism playing now for Brevard?
Tourism is huge, not only for Brevard and the region, but the state of Florida. The governor's office indicates for every 85 tourists that come into Florida, that equates to 1 job. So with the new shuttle Atlantis exhibit, every time we can have another tourist come to the state or Brevard, it's all about equating job growth.
You talked a little bit about the evolution, the entrepreneurs. How are those private companies though doing, like SpaceX and Boeing? How are they thriving in this?
SpaceX is thriving. They've had several successful launches. As you know, they've just been awarded the operations at Launch Complex 39A. So that's a paradigm shift for NASA, releasing assets and infrastructure to the private sector so that we can diversify what our space business looks like on the Space Coast.
Can you give us some idea of the Cape Canaveral expansion, the projection for the economic impact?
Well, the port is going gangbusters. As you know, they just last fall opened a new observation tower, which again supports the tourism aspect of the economic growth. This fall, they're slated to have a new cruise terminal, as well as, you know, we're very pleased to hear that Governor Scott is supporting the need for funds to expand a cargo basin. Port Canaveral is one of the busiest cruise ships in the nation, and all of that equates to economic growth and prosperity for our region.
Well, hopefully with the Panama Canal expansion, that will come into play.
Sure.
It sounds like Port Canaveral then is doing a twofold economic outreach with tourism as well as, then you say, with the cargo. So it's not just the tourist angle and the cruise ships that people often think of.
Right, and when you think about the port's strategic plan for connecting cargo, goods, and passengers to the Sunrail. So you have jobs that are being created for the infrastructure construction, as well as long-term jobs in logistics and transportation.
I understand that the construction aspect is in phases and really moving along well.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
How would you characterize the future for Brevard County in employment?
Very optimistic. Diversified, taking advantage of our aerospace talent and retooling them to support emerging technologies that are growing by leaps and bounds. And by that I'm talking biomedical, alternative energy, digital media, modeling and simulation. We have a very bright outlook.
You mentioned you have 3 areas, 3 offices for Brevard Workforce throughout the county.
We do. We have 3 career centers in Brevard, yes.
Now, do employers reach out to you with the needs that they have, or do you reach out to them? How does that work?
Both. It's a push-pull. So employers recognize the value of our services, and we have many with a long-term relationship, but I also, under my purview, have a team of business liaisons that are chartered with being out in the community, reaching out to employers in different industries, connecting our services and our talent to their workforce needs.
So what's next for Brevard Workforce?
Soon will be a new statewide brand for Florida's workforce system.
And possibly more diversification to
And
help the county.
more diversification, right.
Judy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
After the break, we'll learn how state colleges are working to educate a renewed workforce. Dr. Laura Ross is the Vice President of Academic Affairs at Seminole State College, where teaching and targeting specific skills have become a key ingredient in revitalizing the area's workforce. Laura, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Oh, very, very good. How has the downturn in the economy affected colleges like Seminole State?
Well, we're actually counter-cyclical to the economy. So when the economy is down and people are out of work, they all flood back to school. And so between 2008 and 2012, we actually increased our FTE by about 50%. So it was a huge increase. And now that the economy is a little bit better, we're leveling off a little bit there.
So with the increase in the students, what kinds of students? Did you see some changes with that as well?
A little bit. You know, we have a higher minority group of students now. We're about 50-50. And we also have a 50% non-traditional student base and then 50% traditional student base. So that's a little bit different than what it's been in years past.
How do you keep up with the demand when it's the counter cycle, as you said?
Right. Well, we had to do a number of things with the increase. 11 years ago, we had just 1 campus in Sanford Lake Mary. We now have 4. And so we opened campuses in Oviedo, in Altamont Springs, and in Heathrow as one way of meeting the demand. We also added some early morning classes, weekend classes. We went to online instruction, and actually we call online our 2nd largest campus because we have so many students interested in either online or hybrid classes. Most of them don't go full-time online, but they might take half of their classes online.
So how many online students do you think you have? Do you know?
Oh, well, I would say overall we have 32,000 students. I bet at least half of them take 1 online course at least.
One type of either hybrid or with that. With Seminole State now, what's the role that you take when you have a graduate? Do you assist them in getting employment?
We do. We have a career resource center on campus, and students can go through mock interviews. They help them with resumes, that kind of thing. So it's a great resource center for them. In addition to that, you know, our faculty are quite active in that. Some of them, for instance, our accounting professor will take groups of students out to accounting firms as sort of a networking visit and allow them to not only see what goes on, but as prospective employers. So we have that out there. And then we have advisory boards for each of our career programs. And members of industry actually sit on those boards. And so they give us advice about curriculum. They get to know, our programs, some of our students, and that's actually a pretty good recruiting tool right there for students.
Right. What are you seeing as the most popular choices for majors right now?
Well, at Seminole State, it's still the AA degree. Most of our students, over half of our students, want the AA degree so that they can transfer to the university.
With a Direct Connect program?
Through Direct Connect, exactly. Other than that, if they're in one of our career programs, information technology is very popular right now. Any of our health programs, particularly nursing, we have a long waiting list for our nursing program. And business is very, very popular.
How do you prepare students that are in for the traditional degree as opposed to preparing those that are coming in for specific job markets?
Well, the state helps us with that, with the gen ed requirements. 36 hours out of the 60 that our AA degree seeking students need to take must be in the general ed requirements. So they get math, science, English, communications, humanities as a good, strong foundation. And then the remaining 24 credits they can take as prerequisites toward their degree or major. With our career programs, our AS degrees, they are not required to take as many gen ed courses, but we still require at least 15 hours to 30 hours in general education requirements. So all of our students are getting a good foundation in a general background.
What steps has Seminole State made to more closely align curriculum with the realities of the job market?
Well, first of all, as I mentioned, the advisory boards. We probably have 30 different advisory boards made up of industry leaders that advise each of our programs what that curriculum should look like, what they expect our graduates to have as far as skills when they graduate. And so that is very helpful to us. We are also, though, constantly reviewing our programs through program review and examining job outlook data, labor data, not only for Region 12, where we are, but also for the state and for the national, so that we know this is still a major that students would want to get, that there are still jobs out there for them. So the state actually requires us to make sure that we're offering jobs that, or programs where there are jobs.
That's an awful lot of advisory boards to try to all make work in harmony.
Yes,
but what
it
an
does.
excellent idea.
Yeah.
For you to do that.
Well.
So with the fields of study, how often do you review that? How often do you review data like that to change things and update?
Once a year. We go through and do a program review of all of our majors, all of our degrees, all of our certificates to make sure this is still something, it's still a high demand role, a high wage. That's another thing we aim for, are careers that would be high wage for our students. So we do that once a year, and we either tweak the curriculum as we need to, or if it does need to be a program that we close, we have done that. And then we'll look for what's next, what is out there that we need to start preparing students for.
What do you see as the biggest challenge for Seminole State in the upcoming years?
I think just dealing with all the change in higher education. There's so much change out there, either coming from the state or through technology or how we're funded. And I think for us, we need just to remain nimble so that we can be ready to adapt to those changes as they come at us.
Flexibility.
Yeah.
Yes.
Flexibility is key. Yes.
Thank you, Laura, so much for being here.
I appreciate your helping.
That is all the time we have for our show today. Please visit wucftv.org/metro for interactive features, special content, and much more. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, I'm Diane Trees.